Have you ever learned about the command of Jesus where he talked about if someone does not receive you, you should shake the dust off your feet and walk away? But this command is often ignored in Christianity. Often we're told to like, oh, we need to be nice and to people and try to keep hounding people to come to Christ. But what if people don't want to come to Christ? You don't chase them. Don't chase them. Christian culture, we live in a Christian culture that stresses repeatedly reaching out to friends and family and non-believers. And sometimes it's okay just to move on. Have you ever experienced these long, drawn out, unproductive debates online? You may have, maybe you haven't, maybe it's not your personality. What do we do with these endless debates and conversations? Oftentimes I post videos or I post things on Facebook or iApologia here. I posted a video a number of months ago on atheism and I got all sorts of backlash from atheists. Did I respond to everybody? No. Most people I did not respond to. First off, I don't have the time. Second off, it's not productive. It was like, okay, whatever. You do what you want to do. It's you can troll me on YouTube, you can troll me on Facebook, whatever. I don't always respond. Sometimes I do if I want to. If I don't want to, I don't have to. That's not a big deal. And that's what I'll discuss here, why I don't always do that. If you're finding this video helpful, please don't miss out future content by following this video, liking this video. And if you follow this channel, you won't miss out and you'll always be in the loop. I call it the move on mandate from Jesus. And this is where Jesus teaches us not to just force the message where it's not wanted. Now, if you're on social media and you're posting something on your page, fine. If someone comments or trolls, fine. They can do that. Move on. I just don't allow vulgarity on my channels and stuff like that. I try to delete all those. But other than that, if you disagree with me, fine. But I'm not going to like feed the troll necessarily, unless I am very intentional about it. I want to. I have time. I am enjoying it or something like that. But I'm not just going to just feed it just for their own interest. Now, also, we're called to be discerning and to trust God. To work in the hearts of those who we interact with. So just because you post something and someone disagrees with you, it's like, so what? Let God take care of it. You did your part. Even Jesus, through parables, didn't always speak with extreme clarity. Sometimes we think that we need a super clear message from Christianity, but some people just don't want to hear. And Jesus was fine with that. He was like, well, you have to make the decision yourself. You have the free will to not receive the gospel. There's also a teaching of Jesus about not casting pearls before swine. And this comment is very important because it tells us that we have to be careful what we say to people. Sometimes I see people sharing the gospel with people who are just making fun of the gospel. It's like, okay, if they're not receptive to it, just walk away and go find someone who is receptive. It sounds bad, especially in today's day and age. Oh, everyone should have the opportunity to know. But if they don't want to, if they're going to stumble on the message of Christ, then walk away. That's not really your need to do that. Again, Jesus and the early church, they walked from area to area. Oftentimes, Jesus would go hibernate up in the mountains by himself, and people would follow him. They wanted to hear the message. His disciples and those who followed after him at the new church, they often spread out throughout the regions. They didn't just stay in one location. They would move around. And by doing that, they not only spread the gospel to people who wanted to hear, but also they weren't constantly imposing the same people over and over and over. Jesus said we need to put Jesus first. And oftentimes we have to leave behind family and friends. This is sad. It's frustrating. But on the other hand, it's like, you can give them the message, but they might not want it. Jesus talks about when you go to a new place, share the gospel, talk to people. And if they don't want to hear it, then shake the dust off your feet. And we see the apostles actually living out what Jesus taught. In Acts 13, the Jews rejected the message of Paul and Barnabas. So what did they do? They literally shook the dust off their feet and walked to the next place. They went to the next place. So this move on mandate is almost a lost teaching that you don't necessarily have to continue to tell people. Let them go if they don't want to hear. You don't have to sit there debating people online necessarily. Share the message and move on. because sometimes this makes more problems if you're constantly debating people. And don't be turned off by non-Christians saying, oh, that's not a Christian response or whatever. It's like, okay, just have a Christian response, and then that's it. If they don't think like it, that's their problem. They're just trying to troll you. If you think this video was helpful, please comment below and also watch the next video.